All right, we are now entering day 21 of that partial government shutdown. Negotiations to reopen the government have yet to make any headway.
Fox News correspondent Ray Bogan is in Washington, D.C. with the latest. One of the two suspects accused of killing 7-year-old Jasmine Barnes is denying involvement in the young girl's murder, and his attorney is also requesting his trial be moved from Harris County. The man, who many people are calling a monster, is being described as quiet and respectful. Police are looking for a suspect who drove a van into a house in North Texas and then left the scene. He says one of his neighbors managed to get the driver's license plate number. Plano police are working to track down the driver. They're also asking anyone with information to contact the Plano Police Department.
But yesterday, Round Rock officials honored a Central Texas doctor for stopping to help an officer who was hit by a car last February.
Officer Charles Weitz later died from his injuries, but police say the doctor's quick and selfless act allowed friends and family to say their goodbyes. Fox in Austin, Steven Sarabia has the story. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Right now you are listening to the Beatles, the band releasing Please Please Me on this date. Back in 1963, this was their first release in the United States. Didn't score very well then, but was re-released in 1964 when Beatlemania was getting underway. The song hitting number 3 on the billboards. Zach, I see you rocking out over there. You a Beatles fan?
Air guitar.
Oh, yeah. Work it. Work it.
Yes, yes. Hey, I think you'll be pleased to hear that we're going to dry things out and see some sunshine just in time for the weekend. But here's the catch. We got to get through.
All right. Thank you, Zach, so much. Well, there's a lot of excitement ahead of this weekend's divisional playoff game between the Dallas Cowboys and Los Angeles Rams. Yesterday, Patriot Paws in Rockwall hosted its first Puppy Bowl. The service dogs were all dressed up in cowboy blue and silver. Some pups wore jerseys while others had on some cheerleading outfits. Patriot Paws provides service dogs to veterans at no cost to them. It also allows the same, or it is the same organization Fox 7 Austin teamed up with 2 years ago to help raise a service dog named Tommy. While the Puppy Bowl looks like it was all fun and games, a lot of the activities were actually training exercises for the dogs. To learn more about the organization or to donate, head to patriotpaws.org. As for the Cowboys-Rams game, well, coverage starts tomorrow night at 6 right here on Fox 7. A popular Lake Travis restaurant is back in business. It had been closed since October after flooding damaged the place. This picture from
yesterday, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick told President Trump Texas will build the border wall.
Yeah, he made that offer yesterday while the two were in McAllen. Patrick told President Trump that the state will build a wall along parts of the U.S.-Mexico border if the federal government pays us back. The president reportedly said, quote, "You do things very well here in Texas, and I like that idea, so we'll take a look." Patrick's office said Texas could build a wall wherever it's needed, but provided no details on things like location or cost. President Trump said yesterday he has yet to make a decision on whether or not to declare a national emergency to build a border wall.
And meanwhile, some are asking Democrats what's changed over the years when it comes to border security. Fox News correspondent Peter Ducey has more from Capitol Hill.
It's now day 21 of the partial government shutdown, and the fight continues this morning on how to end it. Amid all the finger pointing and misdirection comes finger wagging and claims of mistreatment from fed up federal workers. Hundreds of them braving the bitter cold in the Capitol because they feel Washington has left them out in the cold. Another large gathering taking place in the Windy City, where many say the president's line in the sand for a wall at the border does more harm than good. Today is the first payday hundreds of thousands of furloughed workers will miss since the shutdown began. The debate over open carry could end up in a Travis County courtroom. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is asking a district court to require the city of Austin to allow people to legally carry firearms in City Hall. Back in July 2016, he filed a lawsuit against the city after a man with a CHL was turned away from City Hall. Under Texas law, Austin can be fined $1,500 a day for violating the law. The AG's office has asked the Travis County District Court to impose a fine of more than $750,000. And the debate over climate change is coming to Austin. Today, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg will be in town to meet with Mayor Steve Adler and City Manager Spencer Cronk. Bloomberg is currently the U.S. Special Envoy for climate change, and the three are expected to make a special announcement on the city's efforts to fight climate change and build their communities, all while helping local economies. That press conference is expected to start around 10 o'clock this morning.
Well, several military helicopters flew over Austin yesterday in honor of Mr. Richard Overton.
Fort Hood Air Control says the choppers were practicing maneuvers for the World War II veterans memorials this weekend. During his burial ceremony on Saturday, the aircraft will perform a flyover. And yesterday, pilots were practicing the route. And a memorial service starts with a public viewing today from noon until 6 o'clock in the evening at the Cook Walden Funeral Home on North Lamar. After that, Overton's funeral will be held tomorrow morning at 11 at Shoreline Church in North Austin. From there, the community is invited to a public burial at the Texas State Cemetery in East Austin at 2 o'clock.
And instead of flowers, the Overton family is asking people donate to Honor Flight Austin in Mr. Overton's memory.
Yesterday was an emotional day for the family and teammates of a North Texas high school soccer player and his younger brother. The team took the field just 2 days after learning the Rivera brothers unfortunately died after their car veered off a road and into a creek. As Fox's Natalie Solis reports, despite incredible sadness, the team won their match. And that was Fox's Natalie Solis reporting. The tournament the team played in had been renamed in Diego's honor. As for the cause of the crash, investigators say they are still working to figure out what caused the vehicle to veer off on the road. All right, coming up on Good Day Austin, with the 86th legislature beginning this week, we'll take a look at where vet programs stand on the priority list of state lawmakers in our Fox 7 Care Force. Coming up on Good Day Austin, it's looking nice and dry weather-wise, plus traffic flowing nicely at this hour, but the chance for rain later today, well, it's happening. We're checking back in with Zach for a look at our forecast.
Live and local from Fox 7, this is Good Day Austin.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday, January 10th. Weather looking A-okay right now, but you said umbrellas are going to have to be busted out.
Yeah, later on today. Drive into work.
Dramatically. Like that deal. That's how you do it.
You can bust it out.
Sometimes I do that when I don't want to. In the car, I'm trying to get out.
However you want to do it, you just need it.
Yeah, poncho, umbrella, whatever you need. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get some serious rain here.
So this isn't going to happen until late in the afternoon, into the evening hours this morning.
This morning, we'll be seeing one of the first costs of the partial government shutdown.
Yeah, as the political deadlock ties the record for longest shutdown ever, hundreds of thousands of federal workers are missing their first paycheck today since that shutdown started. Fox News correspondent Robert Gray has more.
3 family members are charged with tampering with evidence in the disappearance of an 8-month-old boy. Charges are now filed against the boy's father, Chris Davila, as well as the child's grandmother and Davila's cousin, Angie Torres. The boy's mother is also said to be under investigation but has not been charged. At a news conference last night, San Antonio's police chief said Davila is believed to have injured the child severely, then told police the boy was in a car that was stolen. Investigators believe the child's grandmother is suspected of disposing of the child's car seat and dropping off the child's cousin, who was also seen on surveillance video participating in the staged kidnapping. The San Antonio Police Department says the search for the child's body continues.
Round Rock officials have honored a Central Texas doctor who stopped to help an officer hit by a car last February.
Officer Charles Weitz unfortunately died from his injuries 2 months after the crash, but police say the doctor's quick and selfless act allowed enough time for family and friends to say their goodbyes. The doctor, who was honored with this award by the Round Rock Police Department yesterday, Officer White's wife was also present to thank the doctor herself. The doctor is now urging people to learn first aid. He says you never know when that information could become useful. And the man who was once in charge of protecting the nation from a terror attack comes to Austin to thank those who saved his life nearly 2 years ago.
His eyes are on the prize, 'cause ain't no girl ever gonna be as good as you. Now, baby,
Some Zach Carney for you at 5:42 on your Friday morning. You can catch Zach Carney later this morning on Good Day Austin, playing at the end of our 9 o'clock hour. That's how we're going to wrap up the show. Yeah.
Very nice. Soothing, you know.
It's cool.
It is cool.
A sweet morning jam. I don't know if that's what he's going to be playing, but.
Hey, Zach, bust out that air guitar again.
My main concern right now, he spelled his name.
Oh, boy, that's true. Zach with a K is not happy of the Zachs with an H among us.
Call him Zach,
yeah, I can respect
Zach
that.
Carney.
Zach and I have had that conversation. Yeah, stay tuned for that, where we introduce Zach and he calls Zach Zach.
Dave, I'll let you handle that one.
You gonna let me handle that one?
No, I'll let
He's
you.
gonna be hiding back there in the weather
You
center.
should
You never
introduce
see him.
this guy later. You guys
Big-
can
This
talk
is
big
Zach.
about
talk.
that.
Zach, this is Zach. Zach, this is
Big
Don't
talk
get it
right now at
twisted.
5:43, big man. All right.
I'll hide
Yeah,
during the
you
9
will.
o'clock hour. Don't worry.
I believe you.
Well, the sun's going to be hiding behind the clouds.
Love eating at Sundancer Grill.
I
I'm
need
so
to try it out.
happy it's back open. That was Fox 7 Austin's Casey Claiborne, by the way, reporting.
And the owner, Clark, owns a couple of other restaurants, so he moved his staff from that place around while it was closed until, of course, it's back open.
Yeah, got ready to serve up those burgers again. All right, a lot of excitement ahead of this weekend's divisional playoff game between the Cowboys and the LA Rams. And to learn more about the organization or to donate, you can go to patriotpaws.org.
What's up with those no Ram colors?
Well, all right, I get it.
Burn.
SoCal Jacqueline here, but yeah, it's a rough crowd.
Yeah. Well, as for that game, coverage starts tomorrow night right here in Fox 7 at 6 o'clock.
I suppose we know who you're rooting for.
In the Coley.
There we go. Wow. Yeah, there we go. That's
My old stomping grounds.
Some USC knowledge there,
Yeah.
too. All right, we continue talking sports. Another Longhorn star has made his decision.
Live and local from Fox 7. This is Good Day Austin.
Hi, everybody. 6 o'clock on your Friday morning. Thanks for joining us. One of those days where you got to be happy it's Friday.
Right.
Maybe not so happy about the weather as it stands.
Later, correct?
Yeah, especially when you drive home from work, you're like, oh, why?
But then you're driving home on a Friday.
That's true.
Party. Like
Slower.
You
Yeah.
get home and then you're like,
Both hands on the wheel, though. Weekend. That's how you do it.
sunny
Exactly.
weekend. Yeah, lots of sunshine to look forward to. We just got to get through today. We'll be on the lookout for.
President Trump's laying the groundwork to declare a national emergency and begin building a barrier along the southern border.
Yeah, the move would bypass a divided Congress, still at odds over a government funding standoff that is now entering its 21st day. Douglas Ader has more from Washington this morning. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick says Texas will help build President Trump's border wall. He made that offer yesterday while he and President Trump were in McAllen. Patrick told President Trump that the state will build a wall along parts of the U.S.-Mexico border and the federal government pays us back. The president reportedly said, quote, "You do things very well in Texas, and I like that idea, so we'll take a look." Patrick's office said Texas could build a wall wherever it's needed, but provided no details on things like location or cost. The debate over climate change is coming to Austin. Today, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg will be in town to meet with Mayor Steve Adler and City Manager Spencer Cronk. Bloomberg is currently the UN Special Envoy for Climate Action. The three are expected to make a special announcement on the city's efforts to fight climate change and build healthier communities while helping local economies. That press conference is expected to start around 10 o'clock this morning. A demolition crew is now tearing down the iconic Village apartment building in San Marcos. That's where 5 people died last summer and last month. The ATF ruled the fire was intentionally set and the deaths of all of those 5 victims have been ruled homicides. The San Marcos Fire Marshal says a suspect still hasn't been identified. Although the cause and location of the fire are known, that information isn't being released because it could compromise the investigation. All week, crews have been on site tearing down the complex and removing appliances and furniture from inside the building. People who live in the area say it's been difficult to drive by and see the broken and burned walls still standing. They hope that by removing it, it will bring some closure to grieving friends and family. A $10,000 reward is available for anyone with information that leads to an arrest of a suspect. If you know anything about this case, call the ATF or San Marcos Police. Well, it's been 17 years since Rachel Cook disappeared from her parents' house in Georgetown. She went out for a run and was never seen again. Yesterday, dozens of people gathered outside of the William County courthouse to remember her. Fox 7 Austin's Natalie Martinez has the latest on the investigation. That was Natalie Martinez reporting. There is a $50,000 reward for information leading to Rachel's location. If you know anything about this case, call the Williamson County Sheriff's Office. All right, coming up on Good Day Austin, it's a trend that could be hazardous for your health, skipping meals to drink. We'll have more on that on the other side of the break.